Ubisoft just dropped one of the funniest unintentional comedy routines I've seen all year. So let's talk about it. They put out a statement basically saying many new games are struggling to stand out because players are turning away from traditional full price release towards subscription, live service, and free to play. Translation: Gamers, you're the problem, not us. You guys changed. Yeah, okay, Ubisoft. Pull up a chair. So Ubisoft UK unfiles their latest accounts and goes, revenue up 11% to about 33 million. But actual sales of games down nearly 30%. And they warn revenue's going to fall next year as well. Then they hit us with the line that traditional $50 to $60 full games are becoming less common, while subs, live service, free-to-play, and cloud are attractive ways to access games. And I'm just sitting here like, who do you think has been shoving that model down everyone's throat for the last decade? Santa? You can't set your house on fire, complain it's getting hotter inside, then blame the sun. Ubisoft says players are playing fewer games, playing them for longer, and as a result, outside of a few exceptions, many new games are struggling to stand out and hit past sales levels. Cool story. Couple of things though. One, you're charging $70 to $80 for a full game that launches half-baked, has deluxe, gold, ultimate, please just give us money editions, day one cosmetics, battle passes, and somehow a store page that looks like an Excel spreadsheet of microtransactions. And then you act shocked. People are waiting for a sale or just not bothering. 2, you've trained everyone not to buy you at launch. We all know the Ubisoft pattern. 1, game comes out. 2, bugs, backlash, we hear you statement. And 3, 50% off in like 3 weeks. Why would anyone pay full price at this point? You literally condition the entire market to wait. That's not a changing player habit. That's cause and effect. Look at what they shipped over the last couple of years. Assassin's Creed Mirage and Shadows. Still fundamentally Ubisoft open world with a different hat. Star Wars Outlaws. Huge license, but even Ubisoft admits sales were softer than expected. And they're slashing bookings and cutting costs by over 200 million because of underperforming titles. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. One of the best reviewed games they put out in ages, but because it only sold around 1.3 million in a year, they broke up the team and shelved sequel plans. So on one hand, they're crying that many new games are struggling to stand out. On the other hand, the one game that actually stood out creatively, they punched it for not being a mega hit and moved the devs off of it. Imagine telling your audience, please buy innovative AA games, then nuking the team when it doesn't sell like GTA. That's not a market problem. That's Ubisoft looking at a healthy plant and going, you're not a redwood tree, get into the shredder. By the way, if you're sick of this corporate clown show too, drop a like and subscribe because apparently Ubisoft needs a 40-page financial report to understand gamers. You and I can do it in a 10-minute rant and a comment section. Alright, back to it. Ubisoft's big brain take is that people are turning away from the traditional full game model and towards multi-game subscription services, long-running live service titles, free-to-play, and cloud streaming. Let's break that down. First, the subscriptions. Yeah, people are subscribing to Game Pass, PS Plus, Ubisoft Plus, whatever. Because games are like $70 to $80 a pop now. Cost of living is cooked. Your own games launch broken often enough that nobody trusts you with full price. If I can try your buggy mess for a month on a sub and bail, that's not me betraying the traditional model. That's me protecting my wallet from your design committee. Next, live service. They say people are playing fewer games for longer. No shit, you made live service monsters that demand daily logins, FOMO events, time-gated grinds. Then you go, wow, weird that people don't have time for other games. It's like opening a 24/7 buffet on every corner and then whining that no one's going to restaurants anymore. And lastly, free-to-play. People turning to free-to-play isn't some big moral failing of the audience. If I can boot up a free-to-play game that respects my time more than a $70 title, that's on you, mate. What really makes this whole thing hilarious isn't the numbers. It's the complete lack of self-awareness. These statements come right after sales of goods down almost 30% in the UK, physical markets down 35%, hardware sales down 25%, job cuts at studios like Ubisoft Reflections as part of cost of cutting and restructuring. And the takeaway isn't, maybe we should stop copy and pasting the same open world formula and stuffing it with microtransactions. Instead, it's players are changing. The market is more volatile. Games struggle to stand out. Stand out how exactly? Another 100-hour checklist world with towers, question marks, and liberate this camp. Another live service experiment that's offline in 3 years. Another game where the deluxe edition just unlocks all the crap that should have been in the base game. You're not failing because the market is volatile. You're failing because your games feel like products, not passion. Here's the part Ubisoft will never say out loud. Gamers will spend money on single player, non-live service, non-sub, just good games. We literally see it every year. When something drops that's polished, creative, and not aggressively monetized, it explodes. Meanwhile, Ubisoft looks at that and goes, okay, but how do we add a battle pass? You can't jack up the price, slice content into DLC, season passes, cosmetics, turn every UI screen into a shop front, kill off games after a few years, and then act confused that people don't trust the traditional model anymore. The traditional model didn't die. You mutated it into this Frankenstein live service subscription chimera, and now your surprise is scaring people away? So when Ubisoft says many new games are struggling to stand out as players turn away from full price release, what they really mean is we spent a decade making bloated, overpriced grind machines, and now people don't impulse buy them anymore. Please feel bad for us. Nah. Gamers didn't suddenly wake up and decide, you know what, I hate paying for good, complete games. They woke up and went, I'm tired of being milked. If Ubisoft actually wants to fix this, the solution isn't another subscription, another live service, another Ubisoft Plus tier. It's brutally simple. Make good games. Price them fairly. Stop treating every player like a walking wallet with legs. Do that and you won't need a financial report to tell you why people are buying your games. You'll see it on day one. If you made it this far, drop a comment with the last Ubisoft game you actually bought at full price, and whether you regretted it. And Ubisoft, if by some miracle you're watching this, gamers didn't turn away from your traditional games. You turned away from traditional respecting gamers.